10 telltale signs showing your husband has stopped loving you. Hi friends, welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. This video will be all about the 10 devastating signs showing that your husband has stopped loving you. You ardently love your husband, and there is nothing you want in this whole world except his love for you. Initially, you're sure that your husband loves you, but gradually you have all sort of doubts about the love of your husband. It is because your husband suddenly turns withdrawn. He becomes indifferent towards you. You're all the more confused when your husband totally isolates himself from you. You're also baffled about the many loveless changes in the behavior of your husband. You're at your wit's end trying to figure out the insensitive changeover in your husband's behavior. Each agonizing day drags on and on with you having suspicious thoughts about the love of your husband. Many a time your husband might be physically present with you but seems miles away from you. Has my husband stopped loving me? You ask yourself a million times. Is it true that your husband has stopped loving you? Shall we have a look at the 10 unhappy signs showing that your husband has stopped loving you? The number one sign that your husband has stopped loving you is when he spends his time alone. When your husband has stopped loving you, he acts like a stranger towards you. He does not interact with you as he normally did. There is absolute silence between you. Your husband watches TV all alone. He does not prefer to have lunch or dinner with you. Your husband does not look at you when he converses with you. Whenever your husband talks with you, his eyes look blank and bleak, as if he's talking with a stranger. His interaction with you becomes that withdrawn and emotionless. Your husband might as well be talking with a non-acquaintance for all the attention he gives you. Naturally, you feel very unhappy by the changed behavior of your husband. The number two sign that your husband has stopped loving you is he avoids physical intimacy with you. When your husband loses his love for you, he no longer has physical intimacy with you. Your sex life with your husband becomes non-existent. You feel all the more taken aback when your husband moves to a separate room. There is no explanation whatsoever from your husband about why he is sleeping separately from you. Your husband spends most of his time in his own room without even trying to interact with you. You're literally shaken by the loveless behavior of your husband, aren't you? The number three sign that your husband has stopped loving you is he's deliberately late from work. Your husband continuously comes home late in the night from his workplace. Your husband offers no explanation about his being late frequently. You well know that your husband is not late due to his office work. You want to bombard your husband with many doubting questions, but his aloof behavior makes you hesitant to clarify your doubts. When your husband does not explain the reasons behind his persistent late arrival from his work, it is as though he feels that he owes you no explanation. The number four sign that your husband has stopped loving you is the derisive tone in his voice. Whenever your husband talks to you, you feel enraged by the derisive tone in his voice. He makes many unwanted comments about your appearance. Your husband also makes unwarranted comments about your habits. These sort of changes are strange to you. You know that your husband does show flashes of anger, but the degrading behavior of your husband seems strange to you. When your husband has stopped loving you, you constantly become the target of his degrading comments. The number five sign that your husband has stopped loving you is he becomes secretive. When your husband loses his love for you, all his activities turn secretive and mysterious. Your husband never bothers to inform you about his whereabouts. He changes the password of his social media accounts. He changes the password of his bank account. It is as though your husband does not want you to know what he's up to. The number six sign that your husband has lost his love for you is he stops discussing family with you. Your husband acts as though he does not belong to you as a family. He becomes that distant from you. Your husband no longer discusses family issues with you. He does not even bother to help you in handling family problems. Your husband stops giving money for family maintenance as he no longer feels family with you. The insensitive behavior of your husband makes you feel that he's not part of your family. The number 7 sign that your husband has lost his love for you is he never attends your phone calls. You might call your husband an umpteen time. He never picks up your calls. You wait for your husband to call you after seeing your missed call. But your husband invariably does not call you back. You feel as though he is giving you a warning. A warning which says that all has ended between you. The number 8 sign that your husband has lost his love for you is when you feel hesitant to talk to him. Normally, you talk freely with your husband. But when your husband totally withdraws from you, you feel reserved to talk to him. You want to share your emotions with your husband, but you cannot. It is as though your husband has built an impregnable wall around him. His bleak look, his aloof behavior makes you feel as though he has turned a stranger to you. The number 9 sign that your husband has stopped loving you is the unexplained staying away from home. Your husband many a time stays away from home. He packs his luggage and off he goes to an unknown destination. Your husband just informs you that he'll be away from home. No information about the place he's going. No details about the days he'll be staying away from you. No caring advice to be careful when he is away. It is as though your husband has stopped caring about you. The number 10 sign that your husband has stopped loving you is when he displays ugly anger. The anger of your husband is ugly to say the least. Your husband often spurts out in venomous display of anger against you. When your husband is angry, he throws things around to add more emphasis to his anger. He accuses you verbally, and there are times he hurts you physically too. Can you see how carelessly your husband displays that he has lost his love for you? Knowing that your husband has stopped loving you is the most painful period of your married life. Did this video make you understand the devastating signs showcasing that your husband has stopped loving you? Marriage Realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon for updates about my latest relationship videos. Make love forever and to death do us part your relationship goal.